Lawrence will take second, but Chase Sexton, Team USA, he will round out the final couple of corners. The flag does go out, Renault wins, but Chase Sexton has won the Motocross of Nations for the Team USA for the first time since 2011.
USA wins, but did Jett Lawrence steal the show? Quite possibly. Hey everybody, Walty Wanders, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these crazy moto times. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. Always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. And what did you guys think of Motocross of Nations? USA finally brings it home after 10 years. We had the best opportunity. Tomac is the most solid rider. If I could pick anybody right now, it would be Tomac. Tomac, you're my guy. This dude is so consistent, and he's just so well poised. You know, he's not super flashy, but he's not like he's not also very quiet. He's just right in the middle. Perfect ambassador for the sport. Congratulations to Team USA. It was long overdue, but this was the team that was needed to bring it home. A big congratulations as well to Justin Cooper. Even though his score wasn't needed, he did his job. He did his job. I'm really glad to see Justin Cooper come through the way he did. And Chase Sexton did his job as well. But this was really Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton. Their combined scores brought us this championship home. But the realities are, friends, we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to read between the lines and look between the cracks and talk about things that the other channels won't talk about but have thought about. And that's just the reality. And the realities are, friends, welcome to Jett's world. This is all about Jett. Jett stepped on to a 450 as a 19-year-old kid. He is a kid, and when he gets on that bike, something happens with that kid. He transforms into a very high IQ rider. His moto IQ is very, very high. We haven't seen a talent like Jett since Bubba. He's probably the closest thing to Bubba. I don't know if we'll ever see another Bubba. McGrath, the king of Supercross, awesome. Ricky, the GOAT, cleaning people up, went toe-to-toe with James Stewart. Awesome. Those are true celebrities of the sport, heroes of the sport. I think Eli's got to be in the conversation now, but I think what we're seeing now is a changing of the guard. We're seeing Jett Lawrence shake up this industry, and while he might not have quite the bike skills in terms of flashiness as maybe a Bubba did, I think what we'll see out of Jett is more longevity, because I think his rider IQ is so very high. He won't be immune to crashes. This sport claims people constantly. He could crash on his next trip out on the track. That's just the realities of the sport. But let's dissect Motocross of Nations just a little bit more. I think one of the things we need to talk about is Team France. Personally, I'm not a fan of Ferrandis. He's just never resonated with me. I've talked about this in previous videos when he cleaned out Christian Craig. In the lights class, it was a cheap shot, and then when Barsha bumps him, we don't even have a clear video evidence of it. He's now parking it on the sidelines, and all of a sudden he's healthy enough to race again. And then before the race, he's interviewed saying that every time he's raced these Motocross of Nation races, he's always won and whatever. It's not that you don't really hate the guy. It's just hard to like him, really. But then his teammate, Renault, French guy, leads the final race. And this is the big one for me, personally. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Historically, in American Supercross, nobody has ever won at least a championship, maybe some races, with the number 13 on their bike. It's even in the rule books as being a superstitious number and has some baloney going along with it as well. And I'm not a superstitious guy, but this guy came out and held his own. Ferrandis threw the race away, and his teammate was able to hold off a charging Sexton and a charging Jett Lawrence. with the number 13. So for me, that's pretty huge. I want to know what you guys think, though. I know it's kind of silly, but something you gotta acknowledge the elephant in the room. That dude won with the most unlucky number in the sport that most riders stay away from, with a 10-foot pole. Me too. Would you put number 13 on your bike? I personally wouldn't. Not if I'm racing at that level. Maybe as a weekend warrior for fun. But even then, I just don't think I'd do it, because I've seen what happened. Colt Nichols, horrible crash with that number on his bike. Horrible. Nobody will ever touch that number again. It's rare. Occasionally you'll see somebody grab that number because they're like, whatever, like Colt Nichols did. Doesn't work out. So that was huge. Team France, though, and Ferrandis, I'm just not cheering for the guy. I don't particularly like the guy. I don't hate him. I don't want to see any harm come to him. He's rubbed me the wrong way, and I know he's rubbed a lot of others the wrong way as well. But I think we need him out there, so I hope he sticks around. But the realities are, friends, Team USA finally did it. We got the trophy back to U.S. soil. We did it on our home turf. This was awesome. We need to defend now. We need to defend this thing. It'll be interesting to see who's on our team when we defend this next Motocross of Nations. But now what we have to start talking about, friends, is Supercross is right around the corner, and just in a mere matter of weeks, World Supercross kicking off here in October. I can't wait, because I think they're gunning for American Supercross, because they see American Supercross is failing to pick up TV coverage. It used to be such an easy job to pick up TV coverage for Supercross. We were the most televised motorsport, only behind NASCAR. That's how big Supercross was. But that's back when we had freestyle intermissions, crazy intermissions. You never knew what you're going to get at intermissions. Now you get mini bikes. And while I love the kids, and I think it's super fun to have those, and they should be part of the show, they shouldn't be the main attraction of an intermission show. So World Supercross is right around the corner. A bunch of riders are being blocked from racing it. We've seen Roczen fired from Honda. And basically, that's Jett Lawrence. We can think, and you know what? It's rightfully so. Jett Lawrence, and Sexton's next. Sexton's on borrowed time. I hate to say it. He's going to get fired next too. We're now all in Jett Lawrence's world. Unless something happens, somebody steps up, somebody needs to raise their game. And even as an American cheering for the Americans in this race, I was cheering for Jett Lawrence. I'm pretty sure most of you were too, that he'd go past that Frenchman and take the win. You got to give credit where credit's due. And I love Jett Lawrence. And Hunter Lawrence is a quality guy too. It's cool. They're two polar opposites. Hunter Lawrence, very serious, wants to be on the golf course. Jett Lawrence wants to be hanging out playing video games and eating donuts. That's the personality. Now, how much of that's manufactured and how much isn't, that's why we're here at this sport, to blow things off, the lid off a lot of topics that others won't talk about, because this has become a very manufactured sport. And I think we need some characters in the sport. Back in the freestyle days, we had like Mad Mike Jones or Tommy the Tomcat Clowers or whoever. These characters, Metzger. We had a lot of guys that had kind of their, kung fu feist. It was like WW or MMA of motocross. We like having that color. Pike out there punching fools on the track. Now we're pulling over and letting people go by because we don't want to get fined. That's got to stop. That has got to stop. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to continue to blow the lid off of it. But this video is dedicated to Team USA. We did it. We deserved it. We've had the talent to do this many years, and we finally got it done. It was tricky track conditions with rain and wetness, but it was still fairly decent. It wasn't a full-blown mutter, but it wasn't a walk in the park. These guys had to go do what they had to do to bring it home. But the reality is, Jett Lawrence went out there and smoked everybody. He could have got that Frenchman. He lost his goggles. I think he would have had him had he not lost his goggles. He passed Sexton. Yeah, you can argue Sexton let him go by, which was the smart thing to do, because he needed to hold that position to get the overall for Team USA. But I think even with that aside, I don't know if anybody has anything for Jett. Next thing that we have to see him go head-to-head with Tomac. That would be the biggest test for Jett. I think he has what he takes to fight with Tomac. We saw Sexton do it. And he just so I think Jett has the ability to do it too. We might see it this Supercross season if he's on East or West Coast lights and Team Honda says, why don't you race a couple rounds on the 450 on the coast that you're not racing? That would be insane. We might see it. So stay tuned as we continue to cover this thing, because that's in fact what you guys deserve. If you appreciate the content, I do want to humbly ask you to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, another video will be coming into your screen shortly that I think you're going to love. As always, thank you for your time. Please keep it pinned today. I'll see you on the next video.